Oh yeah, I wanted to tell a story about years ago. Years and years and years ago. I remember being a young, cocky, you can say just extra. I'll say I was young. I was young. I'm talking like good 20 years ago. Um, and I remember I got arrested twice in one day. And I remember the second time they arrested me, they put me in a back seat, and I said, "If you touch me, my lawyer will have you whatever." They smacked me. I remember that. So then I get to the police station and they put me in the elevator. I'm in handcuffs, and then they jump me in the elevator. And then I go downstairs. They bring me downstairs, and when I get downstairs, I have to talk to the supervisor, and the supervisor comes and he asks me what's going on. So your officer just finished beating me up, and he says, "Which one?" I start pointing at him, and then he smacks me. It's crazy because this has happened 20 years ago, but it's like really hitting me for some reason strangely, like this story, and I remember it. And I filed a lawsuit, and then I like missed it in time. I paid the $150, and they dropped it or whatever. But it's just I'm not the cocky kid anymore. But I just remember that. And I was just thinking today, I don't care how cocky I was. You have no right to put your hands on me. You have no right to jump me. And I was just thinking about that today. You know. There's good cops out there, and then there's some cops that do things like this. And that traumatized me. Like, even to this day, I try not to think about it, but imagine getting jumped by people with guns, and then you tell the supervisor, and the supervisor smacks you too. I don't know. It just bothered me. I don't know. It's hard to sleep sometimes just thinking about it. It's still traumatizing me to this day. When I get pulled over, I'm a little nervous. I don't want to get jumped and beat down again. You know, this is my story. A lot of the cops aren't even cops no more. They're probably like higher up now. But you know, cops don't bother me no more, and I'm not cocky anymore. But I just wanted to tell my story. I just remember that. This is for kids that are out there. If you think you're being cocky or whatever around police officers, they might do something like this. You might have never heard a story like this. But yeah, they waited till I got into the elevator, and they beat me down. I remember that. Then I told the supervisor, and he smacked me too. Wow, welcome to America. And to this day, I'm traumatized by it. I don't care. I don't want no money or nothing. I tried to sue him just for the principle of it, and that got tossed out technically. But to this day, I still remember that. I still remember that. It bothers me. It really does bother me. Every time I see a police officer, I get a little nervous. I'm not scared, but it's just the trauma. You might arrest me and then bring me around your boys, then beat me down again. Then the supervisor smack me. I just to the day I felt, I don't know. I don't know. It just bothers me still to this day. And I got a lot of respect for first responders. I really do. Even police officers. I still have respect for police officers. Good cops that do their job. Yeah, I was cocky. I was a young kid, but manhandling me, beating me up in the elevator, you know, it's unnecessary in my opinion in America. It just shows how far we've come in America. I don't know, but I just couldn't sleep tonight because I'm hearing people's stories and I never really told my story. So I've been just holding on to this. Never wanted revenge. Never been, it just bothers me. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we pretend like these things don't happen, but they happen. They beat me down in that elevator. I just still remember that. Crazy. So this is for young kids out there that are still cocky, still thinking these people will not put their hands on you. I want to give you a wake up call. When you get pulled over, if you ever get pulled over, be the most respectful you're ever going to be. Because I was young, I was cocky. I told them how I feel. You better not touch me. My lawyer do this and that. They smacked me in the car. You know. So I just want to let you know, this is no disrespect to police officers. My message is be respectful when you go around cops because they might act like this. And what's gonna come of it? These cops still moved on up the ladder. They never got fired. Nobody ever got arrested. Nothing. They were able to put their hands on me, jump me. I never been jumped before until this. So even to this day, it bothers me. I got jumped by the police. It's crazy me even saying this, but I remember it. And again, this is no disrespect to law enforcement because at the end of the day, there's some good cops out there that don't do stuff like this. But if you are one of those cops that are beating people up and hitting people and in your own country, shame on you. Shame on you. It affects us. This is 20 years later and I'm still thinking about this. I got 8 kids now. What am I going to tell my kids? This goes on for generations. So what do I tell my kids now? I just got to tell them, you get around police officers. I've never even told my kids about this. I just always tell them, be respectful. Again, I was young and I was cocky. I admit it. I had a big old mouth. But I didn't deserve to get smacked, punched, dog bit me, all that. I got just crazy. So I just recommend anybody, if you're ever getting pulled over by police, be respectful. Like you're talking to your grandparents or be so respectful because I wouldn't wish this would happen to me on you so you don't have to live 20 years. Not in fear, but just, something changed in me that day. I've never been the same. Kind of broke my heart a little bit. But I guess I didn't have respect for them, so they didn't have respect for me. But they supposed to be more professional. And you would think that. But I'm going to let you guys know, sometimes that goes right out the window. So you got to be. I'm grateful for cameras nowadays because if there was cameras, they probably wouldn't have did that. Hopefully, they probably would have turned the camera off. I would think, you know. So it really bothers me. 20 years later, I'm still affected by a beat down by the cops. You know, still affected by it. I wish no malice against the police department. I think they're some of the fine individuals. They run towards danger. Everybody's running away. So I do have high respect for them as I got older. But that beatdown, I don't know. That beatdown was very uncalled for. I'll say very uncalled for. You know. So again, my message to anybody out there, if you ever get pulled over or you're working, talking to police officers, be respectful. Be respectful to everybody, not even police officers. Just be respectful in this world. Because I didn't ask to get beat down by the police. But again, I was young and I was cocky, you know, and that's what I guess happens in America if you're cocky and you're young, and there's nobody watching, you know. So I want to let to you guys out there, don't be scared of the police, um, but be respectful. Be respectful. If you ever encounter them, just be respectful. That's the message I give to you today. Because you never know. Something like what happened to me could happen to you. And, 20 years, you'll still be thinking about that. 40 years from now, I'll still be thinking about this. 100 years from now, I'll still be thinking about I got beat down by the police. And then told the sergeant, and he smacked the crap out of me. Wow. It hurts. It really hurts. A lot of pain, you know. It still hurts. I know if they did that to my child, I would be pissed off, highly pissed off. So I have children now, and I'm going to teach them to be more respectful than I was and never be cocky because this is the type of thing that happens. So that's the message I got out of it. But it's not the right message to beat somebody down. You know what I mean? So I just want to say, tell your children to be respectful of everybody, especially the police. Be respectful because they're human too. And I'm not taking their side. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, they're human too. And I was young and cocky. You know what I mean? I had no respect for them. So I would just say, if you ever get pulled over, you interact with any type of law enforcement or anybody in life, Just be respectful. That's the message I send to you guys out there. Be respectful. Respect goes a long way. I would have never got beat down. Probably be a different person. I don't know. I like who I am today, but at the same time, there's a lot of scars. I had to grow from being that cocky child. Again, this is no disrespect to police officers. The ones that did beat me down. I have no respect for them. But to the good cops out there, I do commend there's great cops out there and great first responders. Continue to do your job. And just know if you are law enforcement, listen to this. That affects us. When y'all put your hands on us, it affects our children. It affects the next generation. 100 years from now, I'm going to be telling the story. All right? Let me go. I got things to do. Ah. Again, that's my point. Be respectful because you never know what that cop is going through. You never know what people are going through. My message is don't put your hands on nobody. I don't care if you're a judge, a cop, an FBI agent, a human, anybody. Just let's keep our hands to ourselves and be respectful. And let's stop being so cocky. So I learned from that not to be so cocky. That turned my cockiness down. But I don't think that was the most productive way to do it. So again, if you're a law enforcement listening to this, and you're a good cop, continue being a great cop. We need great cops. But if you're one of them cops that are out there harassing people and beating people up and doing all that, shame on you. Shame on you. You're destroying generations. You're messing the system up. Because I got to tell my kids eventually about this. And I don't want them scared of cops. I don't want them scared of anybody. I want them to respect everybody. So I leave you with that message. Let's stay respectful. You know what I mean? I still have deep scars. And it hurts me that I got beat down by the cops in the elevator and then smacked by trauma. It just still bothers me. But again, God is in control. God is good. And, He always takes care of me. You guys have a wonderful day. Again, stay respectful to everybody, okay?